Good morning from Rogers, Arkansas. It's the third and final round of the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship at Pinnacle Country Club, and a tournament that is still very much up for grabs. We'll take you to the 8th hole, the par 4, where we find our leader, Ataya Titikun. Grant Boone, Morgan Pressel, Tom Abbott calling the odd-numbered holes. Jim Gallagher Jr. is out on the course, and so is Karen Stupples with our final group.
Well, this tee shot on the 8th is back into the wind. Got trees down the left that will cause trouble, but this one looks good.
Morgan, 25 players separated by 4 shots at the moment.
It is really tight, and we know this golf course gives up a lot of birdies, so I expect to see some fireworks coming down the stretch today.
To the 9th, Tom.
Danielle Kang to tie the lead.
Yeah, coming off a nice par save at the last hole. Just barely missed that.
Going along well though, Jim. She's going to go out in 3 under par in the hunt to win in a season where she's missed over 2 months because of back issues. So this would be quite a story if Danielle Kang were to go on and win here at the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. But it is a close race, as you can see on this first page of the leaderboard.
NBC Sports and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Rogers, Arkansas, it's live final round coverage of the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship presented by P&G. 15 years ago, Walmart began bringing together the best in women's golf. So many of the world's best have hoisted the trophy here at Pinnacle Country Club. That par 5 18th, always the scene of some late drama. And you've got many of the current best in the world contending for the title here. Look at some of the action from earlier. Morgan, Ataya Titikun, already a win in her rookie season.
She is a winner, but this is the first time she's ever been in this position in the final round, and I think it was big for her to get off to this good start with a birdie at the first.
It took her to 15 under. She would drop a shot at the second, where Yuka Sasso, playing with her, did this. That birdie for Yuka, who was 19 like Ataya was when she won last year at the U.S. Women's Open. Danielle Kang, 3rd shot at the 7th.
As Tom mentioned, struggling a little bit with a back injury, but firing on all cylinders so far this morning.
That would get her to 13 under par. Chella Choi on a good run this year. Got married last December. 7 top 25s this season, and that's a 3rd straight birdie for Chella. And as we show you the up-to-the-minute leaderboard, Titikun was briefly behind, but now is back in front by 1. Celine Boutier on the other side of the golf course made a couple of eagles on the back 9, so she's playing the front at the moment. She's trying to come from behind like she did last year to win the ShopRite LPGA Classic. Back to the 9th.
This is Mooney He for a birdie.
Yeah, she's having a solid start too.
Mooney, yeah, 3 under. Goes by Lily. Mooney He on the leaderboard, but sometimes referred to as Lily.
Well, one of the biggest hitters in the game, Yuka Sasso, is off target here at the 8th. And Karen, what do you see, and what is she seeing? It doesn't look great from where we are looking.
No, it's not good when you're on the ground at this level either. Obviously, she has to keep it low under the tree limbs. But the trouble is, she's on an upslope. And she's going to have to work really hard with the loft that she's going to get from that upslope, and keeping it below the tree limbs that are in front of her. Playing it well back in her stance. This is a 6 iron. Oh, just caught a little limb.
She can't see it yet. Trying to find it ourselves. Welcome to the final round of the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. A little bit, Morgan, like last week in Portland, the question is not who's in it, it's kind of who's not in it. You got so many players with a chance to win, with Titicun in front by 1.
Yeah, and I think it's similar to what we saw last week as well as in Toledo. The final group not really getting off to a great start. Nobody under par in that final group, and I think that's let a lot of the chasers back in the field. We know this golf course gives up a lot of birdies. We've seen a ton of low scores so far this week. Can somebody again come from behind like in Toledo when Gabby Lopez came from behind to win? It's happened quite a few times this year. It happened when Ataya Titicun won earlier this year in Carlsbad. So it'll be interesting to see how Ataya is able to handle being in the lead potentially most of the day. We know she has all the talent in the world, but it's a different pressure playing with the lead.
And Karen playing after shooting 61 yesterday.
Well, and it's funny because when she was asked about it, she said her mind was just blank when she was playing. I mean, that just goes to show you how keeping it simple really does get the job done. This is from 153 into that wind.
Yeah, that's being in quite the zone, Karen. It's just when the less thoughts you have in your mind, the better off you can perform under any kind of pressure.
Speaks fluent English, but that's the first thing I thought as well when she said blank. She was in the zone. She's had a tremendous rookie season. She leads the race for the Rookie of the Year award, and she's up by 1 here.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Jackson, Senior Vice President of Corporate Strategy for Walmart. On behalf of Walmart and our more than 2 million associates, I want to thank you for watching the 16th Annual Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship presented by P&G. It was right here in Northwest Arkansas when Sam Walton opened the first Walmart 60 years ago. And today, while our footprint spans the world, we are proud to call this vibrant community our home. This region has so much to offer, from a world-class art museum in Crystal Bridges to the University of Arkansas and, of course, Pinnacle Country Club, our wonderful host this week. At Walmart, we're committed to fostering workplaces and communities where everyone is included. And what a better way to showcase this commitment than through our continued support of the LPGA Tour, an organization dedicated to making golf more diverse, accessible, and inclusive. We are honored to be part of this event that gives back to so many charitable causes. We also want to thank you, the many volunteers, sponsors, and tournament staff who bring this event to life. Enjoy the action as you watch the best women golfers in the world compete. See you out there on the course.
We found Sasso's second shot of the 8th. Here's her third. This was a moment ago.
Off of a little upslope in front of the green here. Lots of green to use, and is going to use a lot of it.
Oh, that was beautifully judged. There were a couple different ridges she had to negotiate there. And as you can tell, a ton of break. Beautiful touch.
That'll be for par. Tom, we said it. Almost everybody still on the course has an outside shot at least.
Ononong Padlam's putting her name in the hat here. This is for 3 birdies in a row. Yeah, just high enough. So Ononong Padlam 4 under for the day. She's up to 13 under par and within striking distance of the lead. And we'll go to the 9th. Uphill second shot. This is Chella Choi. Dropped the shot at 8 to go back to 12 under. That pitch right on the upslope. There's a slope at the front of that green on the left front. If you don't get it high enough, it can come back a little bit. But that was a pretty good shot. Let's go back down to the 8th.
And this for a 2-shot lead for Titicun.
It is uphill. It's going to break a little bit to the left. Try not to be put off by the leaf that just blew across the hole.
Yeah.
That's a good looking stroke.
First Sunday of autumn. Leaves blowing across the green, and Titicun is going to keep that 1-shot lead. She was quick to admit when you spoke with her earlier this year, she kind of liked playing from behind. And this is, as you said, a first experience for her. One off the lead, Danielle Kang at the 10th.
Yeah, 113 straight downwind. Got to carry just onto the green. So a really good line if it's up.
That'll be just fine. putting nearly straight up the hill there.
That'll be to tie the lead. We'll take you back to the 8th, and Yuka Saso for par.
And this is uncomfortable. It is downhill, so you have to hit it softly. And when you're going with a softer stroke, it's sometimes a little easy, sort of harder to keep the club face going square through the ball. So just got to get that ball started on your line.
Yeah, it just didn't break. Looked like a good stroke.
I agree, Morgan. Looked like that's exactly where she wanted to hit it.
Hadn't made a bogey until there at the 5th. She's made a couple. She's 2 off the lead. This is China's Mooney He, played collegiately at University of Southern California.
Yeah, just 88 yards. This is just a little right of the hole. Should be fine, though.
Morgan, that 177 on the Race to the Semi Globe jumps out when you see it next to her name.
Yeah, she has the potential to give herself a little bit of breathing room heading into the end of the season and potentially not even have to go to second stage of Q School. She can get inside 150. Top 100 keeps your card.
Over at the 9th, Jennifer Kupcho just on that little upslope, so coming up the hill here. Just going to be a par for Kupcho. She's looking for her 4th victory of the season.
Let's take a look at our course setup. It's brought to you by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. Morgan, a place you know very well, Pinnacle Country Club.
Yeah, I've always loved playing here. It really is a fun golf course to play. We've seen some really low scores this week. I mean, Ataya's 61 yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised to see another 61 out there today. I think the golf course is set up again for birdies. The greens are quite soft and the fairways are firm, making it play a little bit shorter than maybe it has in the past.
61, the low score on the LPGA Tour this season from Titicun yesterday.
On the tee at the 9th, she's going to go with an iron here.
Well, and she's had to adjust her game plan a little bit, Tom, because the wind has changed direction and it's quite heavily downwind right now, this hole.
Yeah, I was out there walking around a few hours ago, and that was one thing that struck me, that the breeze was up today, and that is going to be a challenge for these players. That's in good shape, though, at the 9th for the leader. Let's go to 10.
Jim, you won 5 times on the PGA Tour, played in the President's Cup, Ryder Cup, but even you had some years, got down to the end of the season, needed to make some cuts. Mooney, he is in that spot this week.
Yeah, you try not to make it any bigger than it is, but it is. You know that. I think for her, she's just going to stay in the process. That's the toughest thing. And you haven't played well, you know, really all season long. And you get to this week, but you got to keep telling yourself, hey, I'm playing good this week. There's nothing to doubt. As long as you put the time in and you prepare, that's all you can do. You just have to go out and execute it. That's the tough part.
Oh, that was good. Just racing past the cup. Take you to the par 3 6th. Mentioned the great round that Celine Boutier is putting together. Should love a par here. That will be to stay 1 back.
Shella Choi above the hole at the 9th. This is for birdie.
Barely tapping that. It is so fast from above the hole, Tom.
That was for Chella's 5th birdie of the round. A couple of bogeys thrown in, but she's going to go out in 2 under par. So Chella 2 back. Let's go to 10.
And Danielle Kang to tie the lead.
Yeah, and when she gets focused like she is right now, watch out. This for 4 under on the round. She's got to go a little to her left.
Jim, she talked about how confident she was with this club in particular. That was a little tentative, though.
Yeah. Well, when you haven't played, you know, this is a club that really shows when you haven't played some of the, and you get under pressure, you've been off. So she's a fighter, though.
She missed almost 3 months. Now she's in the hunt again. Today's coverage is brought to you by Walmart Plus. Members get more. And by CME Group. where risk meets opportunity.
We're back at the 9th. Ataya Titikun with her second.
Yeah, it's got 109 yards, plays uphill. Yeah, good 5 to 9 yards. Downwind, flag just situated over a bit of a false front.
Yeah, she's carried the false front. It's going to be a quick putt, but that's a very popular spot today.
Green's releasing slightly more down, a little bit downwind today than what we've seen from that 9th hole. It's been fairly soft.
Lizette Salas playing with Celine Boutier. This is for birdie to get within one. Okay, look out. Salas bogey free, 6 under, just like Boutier. Right, this is Hornanong Patlam on a run, 3 straight birdies. She is at the 12th.
Whole location today on 12, very accessible. I expect to see a lot of good shots here on 12 today.
So that'll be for a 4th straight. That'd be to tie the lead, the 9th.
Yuka Saso second.
It's a 55-degree wedge from 93 yards. Well, she can spin it.
You don't want to spin it too much, though. That's fine right there. Not many players over par in top half of those who made the cut. Only a handful. Unfortunately, one of them is Yuka Saso, who's fallen back today. Back to 6.
And Celine Boutier scrambling this for par. Like that factor in a couple of hours' time.
Yeah, Lizette and Celine, I mean, are obviously putting together phenomenal rounds of golf, but I think they're going to run out of some holes. They only have 3 holes left to play.
We've got an orange ball in contention, a pink ball of Patlam here. Chella Choi with the orange. And you see 87th in this CME Globe. Patlam, one of the first full-time players from Thailand to play on the LPGA Tour, and boy, they have just kept coming, and they're still coming. With Ataya Titikun at 19, having already won this year.
It's tremendous when you think about what's happened since the LPGA first started playing in Thailand, and the next generation that it's really inspired to take up the game.
About that, Hornanong Patlam came so close to winning the AIG Women's Open in 2018, battling with Georgia Hall at Lytham down the stretch. So a 2-way tie for the lead. We take you to the 11th.
Yeah, it's a longer hole today, 191 yards over the first 2 days, 130 and 140, so completely changing, Jim.
Yeah, left to right wind. Do you challenge that left side with that tree in the way? The next 3 holes are the key to this tournament, I think. And that is going left. That's going towards the tree, Tom. Depends on the kick.
It could go anywhere here. Could go anywhere.
Did not see it down.
I didn't see it down either. Did it come down? No, we did not see
There's
that
a
ball. Oh, it was
ball
one in
in
the
the
bunker.
Not
See
sure.
the first to play, Jim?
Was first to play.
Yes, it's got to be in the bunker there on the left side of the bunker. There it is.
Could be a huge break then, but a tough bunker shot.
Yeah, back up the green. But it, as you see, it could have gone into the penalty area. So those trees do overhang on the left side. Now Danielle Kang.
Yeah, he said the number is 191. I think for here, Morgan, you've played this hole. You just get it somewhere on the green, try to 2-putt and make par here, especially at this whole location with the wind picking up now from left to right.
Yeah, it's a pretty small area in the back, very back shelf where this whole location is. Anything middle of the green, middle tier is no problem.
Oh, what a
Oh
shot.
my
Or how about in?
goodness.
And that is going to be a tap-in birdie for Danielle Kang. And yesterday, on the par 3s, she suddenly came alive. It was a lot shorter yesterday at 11, as you mentioned. And the flag on that middle tier, but it was another wonderful tee shot that almost went in for Danielle. And she would make 3 twos on the back 9 yesterday. This was a tee shot at 15. Another wonderful iron shot from Danielle Kang. then missed the birdie at 17, third par 3 on the back 9, part of that round of 65. She did go 2-2-1 in the final round in Thailand earlier this year. Shot 66, and she had 3 twos in the opening round at Cambridge and shot 65. So not the first time to have 3 twos in the round this season for Danielle Kang. Remember, she's only played a limited season because of the injury.
I've always been taught, Tom, that twos don't add up very quickly. It's good to have a lot of twos on your card. It shows really solid iron play, solid ball striking.
In my home club of Walton Heath in England, you get Pro Shop credit for making a 2. So it's a good thing in amateur golf as well. Now, to Dagoon for birdie and to take the lead on her own.
It's not an easy putt, Tom. As you were saying, it is downhill. And it's going to break to the right, but there's a little bit of a rise in front of the hole that will take a little bit of the heat out of it.
That's going to be a 4 for Titigan. And you think about what she's done on the front 9, she's really opened the door for the race that we have this afternoon, because she's only level par. You've got players around her that are 5 under, 6 under for the round. You look at Boutier and Salas coming towards the end of their days at 6 under. If Titigan had gone out and made a lot of birdies on this front 9, she would be in a very comfortable position. But instead, it is wide open right now, Karen.
It is, and I think it just goes to show you, I mean, we talked about the fact she had the 61 yesterday. It's so hard to back that up because, I mean, the course changed, the wind's changed, everything about the day is different. There's a different kind of pressure when you're in the lead as well. So not really a surprise, but she's somehow got to shift gears now and go into a little bit more of an attack mode. Sasso's putt's uphill.
Yeah, I think it's going to hang on the high side. So Sasso struggling on this front 9 as well, 1 over par. And Lilia Boog, the other member of that group, is not playing well. So the momentum isn't with the final 3 ball. It is wide open here in Arkansas. This is the bunker shot at the 11th for Mooney He.
Yeah, about 90 feet, trying to get something low and run it up there. Got a little bit of a break back here in the bunker.
It's got to get up, isn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That could come back towards
Might want to run up and mark that one.
Yeah, that's right on the edge.
So we have a couple at 14 under. Chella Choi trying to get back to 13. Remind you that they play golf here. We've got football tonight, Sunday night football. Niners and Broncos coming your way 7 o'clock Eastern time on NBC and Peacock. Top 3 coming into the final round, making the turn, and Ataya Titgun, her lead was 1. She now shares it with Pornanong Patlaman. What a confluence, Karen, of these 2 players from Thailand, the veteran and the rookie.
Well, you have to imagine that Ataya would have looked up to Pornalong as a young player, with Pornalong kind of trailblazing the way for Thai players out here, along with Eri Jutanagar. No need for a driver here. You can run through the fairway on the left side into that bunker with a good one, and she's positioned that quite nicely.
Yeah, when I was talking to her caddy before the round, they only are able to pull driver 4 times around this golf course. She's not really able to take advantage of her length.
This is Mooney He now for a par at the 11th.
Yeah, this would be a big putt for her, knowing all that's at stake. Pretty straight putt. The last couple of full swings have been a little bit of a pull, so you make a par here, you kind of get out of it. But just make bogey, then you really know, in your mindset, you just got to slow yourself down. She knows what's at stake.
Yeah, she's only made 5 cuts this year.
Tough to build any momentum and confidence. Big time save.
Good putt there from Mooney He. Has never recorded a top 10 finish on the LPGA, so this is going to be a big week for Mooney, even if she doesn't get the win here. Likely to be a career best on the LPGA Tour. This is at the 7th. 3 holes to play for this group. Started on the other side of the golf course. Big hole this for Lizette Salas. Chance for a birdie at the par 5. Trying to set a target in the clubhouse. Well, our aerial coverage is provided by Goodyear, maker of the Reliant all-season tire, providing a comfortable drive mile after mile, available only at Walmart. Danielle Kang's tap-in birdie at 11. So Danielle Kang up at the top of the leaderboard. The back nine is in full flow for that group.
So 3 now at 14 under, and Chella Choi to get to minus 13. '14th last week in Portland, and a good solid year for the veteran from Korea. Titikun has company. What an arc. Pat Lim, and now Danielle Kang at 14.
Celine Boutier having to scramble here. This is her 4th at the par 5. Okay, so that's going to be a par at best for Boutier, and she will remain 1 back, running out of holes. Let's go to the 10th.
All right, as Aunt Millie tells us, it's Ataya Titikun in that final 3-ball in front, and Lilia Vu playing in the final group for a 3rd straight weekend round, Karen, but as the wind gusts, it has not been a great start for her.
No, it hasn't. There was a bogey and a double bogey, sort of back-to-back holes on that front 9, and really just when she got her head close to the top of the leaderboard, they couldn't have come at a worse time. But that's a chance to get one back.
It seems like that wind has picked up quite a bit, Karen.
It is, and I think it's a different wind, as we were saying, from what the players have been seeing, and they're having to make some adjustments. Holes like this one that would have been stopping really quickly, you might have to allow for at least one little hop and then stop because of this downwind.
Is it sustained or a little bit gusty?
It's quite gusty right now.
That makes it much more challenging.
It does, because you don't trust that you're going to get the right gust at the right time. It's 96 yards.
Good call. Yeah. All right, 3-way tie for the lead, and while we have a moment, let's check out our Volunteers of American tournament summary. Here's Tom.
Grant, thanks. Last week we learned that the world #1 Jin Young Ko is stepping away from the tour for a little while to rest an injured wrist, which has been bothering her for the last several years. Her agent told me this week that Jin Young is experiencing the worst wrist pain she has ever endured. She's currently home in Korea, where doctors have told her to rest for at least a month. She's trying to do some limited practice, which doesn't involve any strain on the left wrist. One-handed swings only, maybe. Jin Young still plans to return at the BMW Ladies Championship later next month. New York City will be the backdrop next year for a new event in June. Michelle Wie will serve as tournament host for the Mizuho Open at Liberty National. The tournament will feature a unique junior golf element, with 24 of the top junior girls playing an AJGA event alongside the top LPGA pros. And this week marks the 1 year to go mark until the 2023 Solheim Cup. The first match will tee off September 21st at Finca Cortizin in Spain. Captain Stacey Lewis will take 7 from the points list, 2 from the world rankings, and select 3 captain's picks for the US. With her victory last week, Andrea Lee has moved to 5th on the points list and inside automatic qualification. Well, Grant, as you know, the Europeans do things a little bit differently. They take 2 from the points list, 6 from the world rankings, and then Suzanne Pedersen finishes off the team with 4 captain's picks.
We like how you do it, Tom. Europeans, our Volunteers of America tournament summary, really good. At the 10th, it's Yuka Sasso with the 3rd.
Going with a little chip shot from this Oyster grass. It was a bit unfortunate that she was about a yard short with her approach and stopped dead in that Zoysia short of the green.
She's 2 back. 7.
So Lizette Salas to tie the lead. So 3 birdies in a row. This is good, and Lizette Salas is 7 under for the day, tied for the lead with 2 holes to play. It looks as though she's going to run out of time, but you never know. Posting that score on the board, giving those players something to think about that are out on the course.
One of the other co-leaders, Danielle Kang, at 12.
Yeah, trees in the way, 142, trying to rope hook it around there. She's done just that. If it's up, this could be really good. Wow, that's so good.
Oh yeah, beautiful. You could see how she really tried to swing out to the right and flip her hands around through the shot. Suits her eye nicely. It's the type of shot she likes to hit, but executed perfectly.
So Ataya Titigun trying to unbreak this 4-way tie at the top at the 10th.
And this would be an unlikely one, but it could be one that would turn the momentum back towards her. It's from long range. It's a bit of downhill. Should break right, but back into the wind.
And there is a difference, Karen, from having the lead and maybe playing a little bit more defensively to knowing that you got to play ball out here today.
Exactly.
It's a little bit of a change in mindset. Might help Ataya here coming into the next few holes.
Well, she seems like a kind of player that would be able to turn it around. A lot of players struggle with that, though. Switching from, playing conservatively, not taking any chances to wanting to be aggressive to make those birdies.
I think this is a course where you really do have to stay aggressive, because the chasers are going to play aggressively today.
She was 19. She still is. And she won at Aviar in Carlsbad, California, playing with Yuka Sasso, who was 19 when she won the U.S. Women's Open last summer. They've been having a good time out there today. To 7.
And Boutier to save par as we keep her 1 back. Yeah. Playing alongside Lizette Salas, and those two have faced each other in a Solheim Cup. They played a foursomes match against each other at Glen Eagles 2019, and Boutier was the victor along with Georgia Hall, 3 and 2.
To 12. He.
That was from 127. This is also a good looking shot. She went a little higher with hers.
So Danielle Kang is going to have a putt to get to 15 under. Mooney He, who could move inside the top 100 in the race to the CB Globe with a good couple of hours coming down the stretch here. Mooney He for birdie at 12.
Yeah, coming down the slope might move a little to her left. A big putt on the last hole for par.
Is it enough? Oh. 177th we saw in the race to the CME Globe. Currently projected to go to 105, and Morgan said it earlier. The difference between finishing 100th and 101st is very simply staying on the LPGA Tour. 11.
This is Chella Choi. Bunker back right. That is a really tough shot, and she's played it so well.
Jim, Danielle Kang hasn't made a bogey all week. Hasn't made one since Toledo a few weeks ago, and now she's got a putt.
Well, she is playing
for the lead.
Yeah, she's playing some phenomenal golf. Ball striking's there. I mean, I think the intensity level backs Morgan. I think you can see it in her eyes when she, when she's in contention. She's got that look, and I think she's relying on those past experiences. Maybe kind of feel thankful for what she's been through this season to be back into this again and contention to win again.
You can see she got a little emotional yesterday after her round in her press conference, but she definitely had that intensity in her eyes on the range this morning, Jim. She knew what she had to do today. Go out there and post a number. That's going to be frustrating.
She said she almost wanted to cry. Just grateful to be back and to be in contention. Opportunity missed there. She'll remain one of 4 tied for the lead.
This is at the 13th corner. Patnam drove it in trouble, so trying to scramble the par. I think she thought she'd left that short, but that is a really good 4 in the end for Pornanong Patlam. So she stays 5 under for the day, tied for the lead.
Well, it's really tight at the top, and if you want, you can go to LPGA.com and get live scoring and stats this week and every week. LPGA.com to help keep you straight here. We have, just counting it down here, we have 22 players separated by 4 shots. Still with not much time left.
Here's one of them at the 11th, Chella Choi, trying to stay within 1 of the lead.
Since they moved this hole back today, Tom, the tee playing so much longer. It's playing as the 2nd toughest hole out on this golf course. It's a tremendous up and down from that bunker for Chella.
Yeah, talking about 50-yard difference, 61 yards from the yardage on Friday. So they really change it up when they put the tee back here. And Titikum back on the tee.
You're right, the hole looks completely different from this tee, 191. And not only that, the wind direction is not helping these players at all with regards getting it to that back left flag. Wind off the left, pushing it towards the right side.
I mean, Karen, you go from hitting a wedge or a 9-iron to hitting a long iron, potentially even a hybrid.
The hole, the green itself looks small, let alone the little area that the flag is on. This one's got a draw, though, drawing into that wind.
It's long, could come back, could come back. Oh, it's going to settle up there.
Oh, that's going to be fast.
There's just not really a bailout on that par 3. If you go to the right, you're going to be left with a tricky putt dealing with the undulations in the green. But Titikum with a very quick one to come.
Walmart's new home office is going to be in Bentonville, just a few miles away on roughly 350 acres of land. For years, the company has operated warehouse spaces and office buildings on this site. By demolishing and recycling those existing buildings, Walmart is revitalizing the existing tract of land and contributing to the economic growth in the area. Plans include 12 office buildings, amenity buildings, a food hall, fitness center, and an auditorium right there in Bentonville, where Sam Walton opened his first Five and Dime in 1950. 15 years now of this Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. And still anyone's tournament to win here at the top, to the 11th.
Yuka Sasso on the tee.
Has a 5-iron in her hand. Does hit those high towering shots. Difficult with this wind, but this is good.
Oh, it's very good. Yeah, very good one as well.
We mentioned it earlier, she was just 19 years old when she went to the Olympic Club for the 2021 U.S. Women's Open. Yuka made back-to-back double bogeys on 2 and 3, trailing Lexi Thompson entering that final round, but a beauty at the 17th. Lexi had this putt at the 18th to join a playoff with Yuka and Nasa Hataoka. So Nasa from Japan, Yuka, whose father is Japanese. She was representing the Philippines at the time. That putt for Yuka Sasso gave her the U.S. Women's Open trophy. Had to make a putt on the hole before just to stay in that aggregate playoff. And she tied Indy Park to the day as the youngest player ever to win the U.S. Women's Open. To 12, and Chella Choi just 1 off the lead.
You can see how the leaves, they can be quite distracting too. Quite a few falling from the huge trees around this property.
Want to cheat up that right side at the 12th. But you got to be careful with the penalty area. Tough fairway to hit.
Oh, looks like a tug. You can see the way she lost her balance towards her toes, but I think she's going to be pretty thrilled with that one.
Wait till she sees this.
Wow, yeah, she definitely thought she missed that maybe a little bit more left. You can always tell when a player finishes a little bit too much on their toes. It typically is going to be left.
That'll be to join the group at 14 under. Lizette Salas is there, scrambling at the 8th, her 17th hole of the day.
This is only the 5th green she's missed this week. She has been before this hole, leading the field in greens in regulation.
Oh, wow.
What a recovery.
And you said it earlier, probably running out of holes, but you just never know. Back to 11.
Yeah, Natalia Tidekun has been looking at this for a little while now, Karen, trying to figure out what to do.
Well, I went back there and had a look at it, and there's a couple of sprinkler heads out the way, and I actually think that
like over on the right of the screen.
Oh yeah, right of the screen. I think those are the ones that that's potentially where the line is. But I think she's got to keep this to the left of those sprinklers and let it just trickle down. She's got to pick a spot about level with the sprinklers, about a foot to the right of it. Sorry, a foot to the left of the sprinklers, and let it just fall down towards the hole.
See how it runs through that fringe grass as well.
I mean, kind of unlucky it didn't come back from there. Oh, this is speedy.
Yeah, is it going to stay on the correct level?
I don't think it is.
It's right on the edge.
Oh, shoot, that was... Shoo.
I mean, that was a few inches away from going down the hill.
Yeah. Yeah, where that leaf is on the green is where the hill starts.
So Tidekun struggling here, but has a putt for a 3. This is at the 13th. And Mooney Heat.
Yeah, 186 hole cut over on that left side. Do not want to mess with that left side. That should be towards the center of the green. Might need to get up a little. That's fine.
Can Celine Boutier make it 5 tied for the lead?
We saw how much Lizette's broke from the other side. This should have a decent amount of right to left break. Good roll.
One hole left for this group, Boutier and Salas. 11.
Casasso, she's only a couple back, has this for birdie.
Really speedy, but the wind is blowing quite heavily now. Sort of off the right and down.
Trying to stay up. Oh my word. That looked like it was going to miss left and just hung in there, needed a fraction more pace. Now at the 13th, the second shot for Danielle Kang.
Yeah, 158, kind of an awkward lie. Ball's a little below her feet. This is a 6-iron.
It's kind of an awkward shot anyway here
Yeah.
on 13. Completely blind to that back left. That's well done. Smart play.
Yep, absolutely.
So Danielle will have a putt for a birdie, trying to break out of that tie for the lead at 14 under par.
It's down. What I have to do, just go away.
Always chatting away with her caddy, Ollie. He's been a loyal caddy for a long time with Danielle. Been through some ups and downs. Now, Tidekun for par.
Exactly the same routine as she's been doing all day. Nothing different here.
I feel like this group needs to see something go in the hole, Karen.
Yeah, it's been very quiet out here. Could really do with something more out.
That's a good 3.
Wow.
Crucial 3, potentially by the end of the day. Stays at 14 under, tied for the lead. And we'll go over to number 8.
And Lizette Salas to stay 14 under. She went 183 starts between her 2 victories, Kings Mill in 2014 and then the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational with Jennifer Kupcho, her partner, back in July. It's now been 5 events since that victory. And that may well do it. If she even did have an outside chance, certainly had a chance, but
Oh, that hurts.
maybe not now. Tough
Yeah,
one.
she looked like she didn't like that from the moment that came off her putter face.
Pornonong Patlam tied for the lead. The par 5 14th moved up today.
Such a narrow fairway, but if you can find it, you have a pretty good chance of getting to this back left hole location. Very accessible. already been 6 eagles today on the 14th hole.
4 straight birdies and then a great par save at 13 for Patlam. She is going to have a putt, maybe 2, to take the lead. There you see it. With Salas having dropped back, it's a 3-way tie for the lead as that anchor group gets to the tee at the 12th. Big putt for Titikun. Lilia Vu. She watched Andrea Lee get off to a little bit of a slow start last Sunday and fight her way back. She's still got 7 holes here, 3 off the lead.
Well, we're coming into the meat of the golf course now too, especially with this wind direction change. Changes everything on this tee shot. Players have had to lay back quite significantly with shorter clubs to stop the ball from running through. Wind off the right, so more difficult to get around the corner. And this is down that right side. And we'll put her in a good spot, really good spot.
And that'll leave her with a very clear angle and a flat lie to that left hole location today.
Well, Karen, she was just 14 years old when she won her first Ladies European Tour event. Ataya Titikun, now a veteran at the age of 19, already a win in her rookie season and a chance for a second win.
I mean, she's very cool, calm and collected too. And in her first victory too, where she won in a player from Nana Kurtz-Madsen, been very cool, calm and collected there too. Just took everything in her stride and just went ahead and finished her off quite nicely. But I think that's a feature of her game. She's really well-rounded. When you look through the stats, she's good across the board. And this is going to be lovely right in the middle of the fairway.
Do you think her mind is still blank, as she said it was yesterday?
I don't know if it's quite as blank as it was yesterday, but that's one of the toughest tee shots and one of the kind of last few places you could get into a lot of trouble on this golf course.
It's a driver for Yuka Saso, and why not? Take a look. She's #1 in strokes gained off the tee, according to our insights by KPMG. 5th in driving distance, top 25 tee to green in strokes gained, Karen.
Well, she is very good with this club, and she does hit it really high, and this being into the wind, the trouble is this one is going to go a bit left, and she's going to have some tree trouble, I believe, down that left side.
It's quite an aggressive play for as far as she hits that.
I agree.
I don't see very many players, even the shorter players, taking driver off of 12.
She was wayward at 8. It cost her a shot.
She's going to have to keep something low again.
Mooney He's birdie putt on the way.
Yeah, about 45 feet. First part's a little bit slow, then it speeds up. I'll go maybe a little left.
Oh, she got that speed dialed in there.
Very nice.
So it should be a 4 for Mooney. She'll stay 3 under for the day, 13 under for the week. Looking for a career best, maybe a first victory.
Chella Choi didn't like her second shot at 12 when she hit it. She loved it when it landed and curls it in to join the leaders at 14 under par. 7 years removed from her one and only LPGA title.
This is Charlie Hull for a birdie at 13, Jim.
Yeah, it's been a tough day for her. Just didn't get off to a very good start on the front nine. Just been trying to just make a birdie. Back at 7, but she just hadn't really had much going.
Is that one going to drop? It is. The putter wasn't needed as much on Fridays. He said she was hitting it so close. Started getting it going yesterday with the putter. Today, maybe a little cold until that moment. Surprised that Charlie hadn't made more of a move on this final day. As Jim was saying, tough start. Now Danielle Kang.
About 25 feet right to left. Morgan, when you're playing in the wind, I always felt like, on the greens putting, it's hard to stay still. Is there anything you try to do to kind of keep your steadiness?
Yeah, I think you make a little extra effort to maybe widen your stance just a hair and be really solid with your lower body. I think putting with the wind at your back is the toughest. Putting with it coming towards your chest is a little bit easier, but just really want to stay balanced on the laces of your shoes, Jim.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. It's just, you just have to kind of focus on that. We haven't had any gusts. I think that's the big thing. If you can get the steady wind, you can handle it. It's when you get that gust, like you said, from your back, it kind of pushes you off. It's actually slowed down right here, so good chance for birdie. Tough hole.
It's not strong enough, Jim, for it to affect the roll of the ball, though.
Not right now, no. A couple, maybe 25 minutes ago, it was blowing pretty good.
Should have a decent amount of pace.
Going to hang on. So Danielle not able to break out of a tie. And she's played well here in the past. Was one back of the winner in 2019, Sandhyan Park. She finished 4th in 2021. 11th time at the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship for Danielle Kang, trying to walk away this year with a victory.
At the 12th, the tie at Titicun, one of 4 players tied for the lead.
And that is from 105. Getting hit by a gust of wind.
Oh, nearly knocked it in. The huge par save at 11, and now a chance to go to 15 under. To 9.
And the final hole of the day for Lizette Salas. Up the hill. Force front left, but she has almost pitched it in the hole. Giving herself a chance for a birdie, so that would get her to 14 under par, trying to post the number in the clubhouse, playing alongside Celine Boutier, who could do the same.
But remember, you have Portanong Patlam at the 14th, putting for eagle, already at 14 under.
Now this should have a little bit of right to left break up the hill.
Just a foot away from the outright lead at 15 under par. Family has a clothing business there in Thailand, and she has the brightest duds on tour. Special thanks to a lot of folks who made this another great week. Tournament Director Rachel Reese, Brian Cornett, the course superintendent, Chase Turpin, Director of Agronomy, and so many volunteers make this event special. One of them, Nathan Fairchild, went above and beyond after our booth took an unexpected hit, knocked out one of our air conditioners, got up really early, made that happen, and keeping Tom nice and cool in the booth on a hot and steamy weekend.
Yeah, it was very much appreciated, the efforts. They've been working quite late into the evening to fix it. So
our booth manager, Greg Thorne, has been working in tandem with them.
Choi going in with a lot of club here, Morgan.
Yeah, not one of the longer hitters. I think it's interesting. You look at the top 7 on the leaderboard right now, Tom. Only Ataya Titicun has decent length. The rest are all length is not one of their strengths. They're consistent players, but don't have exceptional power. And I think that's just the way this golf course takes driver out of the hands of a lot of the longer hitters.
Yep. I can tell you that just a few paces away from the 12th, Portanong Patlam did tap in to get to 15 under, and this is the 3rd Karen for Sasso at 12.
Well, she's completely blind to where the hole is, and was always going to be difficult.
Driver off the tee, Morgan.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what Ataya only had 107 yards after hitting a fairway wood off the tee. Karen, I just don't quite understand that play, other than I guess feeling like her back's up against the wall and she's got to get something going. But there are holes left where think 14, think 18, where you can make an eagle. I don't know that it's quite necessary to push the situation right now, Karen.
With you on that. I mean, it was an interesting play for sure.
So Patlam now in front by 1 as we take you to the 9th.
You saw that name on the leaderboard, Celine Boutier, 2 back. This is her final hole, final chance to make a birdie. It's going to be quick from anywhere above the hole here. quite as quick as she thought. It's just going to be a 4 for Bergier, and it's going to be a round of 65 to finish the week. Should be a top 10 finish, maybe even a top 5.
4th for Sasso at 12.
Pretty straightforward chip here.
She's hit some good ones in the last hour or so.
Yeah, but that'll be another drop shot. I do think that with this wind getting up too, the players that have a lot of club head speed have to work a lot harder to control the ball flight and the spin on the balls.
Into 15 we go.
Yeah, they moved the tee over to the right side today and the flag on the left. There's not a huge amount of green to work with, and with the breeze, it does take a little bit of thinking here. Oh, she got the calculation right. Only 128 yards. Chance for a birdie for Patlam, who has the lead.
And Titicun can join her at 12.
This one's going to be a little uphill into the wind. Has to move a little to the right, but the wind is starting to be really gusty, and got to be steady over that ball. Nicely done.
Only Nasa has made more birdies this year than Ataya Titicun, the rookie, and she regains a share of the lead. 9.
And Lizette Salas, her last try, this for a birdie. And her reaction tell us that, wow, confusing that would come up short. I think it's back into the wind though. So Lizette, the best she's going to do is 13 under par. Still going to be a very good effort on Sunday, but it does not look like it's going to be good enough at this point.
To 14, the reachable par 5 today, Jim and Danielle Kang.
Yeah, they've got the tee way up. A little bit of wind right to left. You've got to really hit a good tee shot here. She's got it lined up that left side. There's penalty area left, OB right, but that shouldn't be a problem.
With the way the angle of this fairway, Jim, it's only about 10 or 12 yards wide. This up a little up the left.
Yeah, might need a big kick.
Catches the tree. Oh, what a
wow.
bounce.
Lucky break there. Wow.
I don't know if she's quite going to be able to get to the green from there, but she's really, really fortunate to have kicked back into the fairway. That could have been disaster in that left penalty area.
So a break for Danielle Kang, who's endured some tough breaks this year. Already a winner, trying to win for a second time. Today's coverage is brought to you by Walmart Plus. Members get more. By Win Grips, the best grips in golf. And by CME Group, where risk meets opportunity.
On the tee at 13th with Lilia Vu.
Again, this one is so tight the farther down the fairway you get, so players really do have to make a choice with what club they want off the tee, and that's in a really good spot.
Take a look at our top tracer technology for this tee shot of Ataya Titicun. Just an iron here for the co-leader.
Well, I think it's a really good play. I mean, it keeps you back of all the trouble. And even though you might have a longer shot into the green, it shows you how confident she is that she doesn't have to have a short club in her hand to put a shot on the green.
With that left hole location, you don't want to be all the way towards the end of the fairway because you'll be blocked out.
And this is a bit of a low runner.
A little more spring in the fairways. Of course, with that breeze drying out. Up 1 to 14.
We said so many players still with a shot. Megan Kang for eagle. Within 2.
Yeah, I think she needs this. We were joking on the range this morning. She's got to go shoot the course record today.
Yeah.
She knew that was what's ahead of her. I don't think that's quite going to happen, but could have a strong finish here.
18's reachable. Seen a lot of eagles already today there. 65s posted by Salas and Boudier together. Finishing over on the other side of the course. 13.
And Chella Choi for birdie. It's a pretty good effort there by Chella. So she's going to remain one back. Go over to the 15th, where Portland Patlam has a chance to get it to 16 under par, take the lead on her own. Steady, just running a little far past to be comfortable.
Not far away from here. In just a few days' time, 11 of the top men's and women's college golf teams will compete at the Blessings Golf Club. It's the Blessings Collegiate Invitational, Monday, October 3rd, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Golf Channel. What a facility they have there at the University of Arkansas.
We had a lovely afternoon, evening there yesterday. It's quite something, that golf course, and it's always fun to watch the collegiate players battle what I think from the back tees is one of the toughest you'll ever come across.
8,000 yards from the back.
Yeah.
We did not play it.
We didn't.
Well, we could see it most of the holes.
I don't want to really brag or anything, but
yeah, you do. Go ahead.
My producer Jesse West and myself may have taken down five-time PGA Tour winner yesterday. We'll talk about that later. Now, Patlam for the par. Yep. So that's a 3 there at 15. She remains 15 under par. Patlam chasing potential first win on the LPGA Tour. Could be a big day. So the ball's slightly below Ataya Titikan's feet here, Karen.
It is. It's below her feet and on a downslope. Has 185. Long iron in her hand.
Not good for a left hole.
No, it's not. But anything on the green is good here, and this is out to the right side. But I think a good shot from there.
That's exactly where Chella Choi just putted from. So putt that is a lot about speed. For a second win of the 2022 campaign. Let's take a look at some multiple winners this year. Jennifer Kupcho, Minjee Lee, Brooke Henderson, all with multiple wins. Jennifer Kupcho with 3, one of which was a team event, the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational. Minjee Lee, the player out in front in the Rolex Player of the Year race, but we'll keep an eye on it. It's still possible that we can have a very close finish come the end of the season.
Danielle King caught a break with her tee shot at 14 laid up, and now her third.
Yeah, 125 yards, pretty conservative layup. Trying to keep it below the hole.
Yeah, you can see sometimes, like on that swing, she just struggles to turn through it a little bit with that back injury. She said this morning on the range it was a little bit tight, didn't want to wake up. I think the warm conditions today will help her.
Toughest hole on the course today, the 16th. Only 3 birdies.
She's going to get away with that one. She'll have an angle to that back hole location. There used to be a big tree that would have blocked her out for that shot. I don't think there will be anything in her way since that tree has gone down.
Aerial coverage this week has been provided by Goodyear. If you're looking for a great drive, go with the new Goodyear Reliant all-season tire, available only at Walmart. Thanks to the crew up there in the blimp looking from high above. We're at the par 5 14th. And Danielle was talking about losing some swing speed and how she's had to adjust with her, specifically her approach shots this week. But the results, Jim, have been terrific since coming back after that nearly 3-month layoff last month at the CP Women's Open.
Yeah, the thing about that drive, it was well hit. It was just a little low, and as Morgan said, a little too far left. But very fortunate there. I thought the layup might be a little conservative, but may play it in a full shot for her.
This morning she was joking. She said, I'm just going to dink it around. Just going to dink it around out there. I think she's doing more than dinking it around,
Yeah,
Jim.
that shot she hit at 11, and even 12. I mean, those are two phenomenal shots. She's played very smart golf. She's missed a few opportunities.
I mean, a 3-day tournament gives you a few less opportunities to make a mistake or that would cost you, but you know, she has played smart golf, and she knows that she doesn't have to have 100% her best game in order to win.
No, and her past experience is huge when you look at that leaderboard. And her winning majors, you're just getting those conditions, those feelings. That's what she's having right now, the feeling she's had when she's won. I'm sure she is.
Got to tie the lead.
And we talk about her being grateful out here. You think Nelly Korda had the same kind of sentiments. When the game is taken away from you, you don't always appreciate it, or it makes you realize how much you appreciate, one, your health, and two, the opportunity to play golf for a living and compete at the highest level.
Megan Kang on the tee at 15.
A little steep with that one.
Be just fine. To the 13th. It's going to be Lilia Vu, or is it going to be Yuka Saso to go next? As we're looking at each other. What do you think, Karen? I think Yuka's got the ball down.
No, I always thought it was going to be Vu.
Vu, yeah.
But it sometimes it's difficult because everybody's kind of walking around doing the same routine, trying to make sure that they, already have the read in their mind. I mean, everybody is trying to keep the pace of play moving along, and when you both got long putts, it's good to watch them both.
She made birdie at 11 and birdie at 12, so Lilia's fighting her way back here.
She is. This is a tough putt, though. The slope that's to the right of her is going to send this quite sharply left, and then it is back downhill to the hole. The hole is cutting that little bowl.
Just didn't.
No, I think that might have been the wind, Tom. It is into the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see how the flag is blowing quite heavily now.
It's, sometimes depend on the windy conditions.
Mooney He really hanging in this final round. She's got this at the 14th for birdie to get within one.
Yeah, I look back at that par save at 11. She got a pretty good break getting it back in the bunker, then made about a 15 footer, I guess, for par. And it's been steady since. This is a pretty good breaker from left to right. And like you said, she's hanging in there. It's hard to believe she's only made 5 cuts the way she's playing right now. But, a lot of players find that magical week, and this might be it.
That was a 3-day event. It was her best finish earlier this year at the ShopRite LPGA Classic, a tie for 54th. And right now she is putting to get within one of the lead.
This will almost have to go in the side door here, Jim.
I would think so. I don't know if she's playing enough break. You just hit it too hard. It's just such a hard putt left to right with that much break.
Still just 23 years old in her 4th season on the LPGA Tour. Up 1 to 15.
Megan Kang, her birdie. Think about Megan, and probably the best player in the LPGA not to have won yet. Maybe posting a score early and waiting. The way that she does it, but I think she's going to need. I think she's going to need a big finish here, which is possible. But 16 is a tough hole. 17 you can make a birdie. 18 the par 5, anything can happen. Now, would Lilia Vu have given Titakun a read here, Karen?
She would have if she had got the ball to the hole, but being a bit short is going to leave that last 8 feet out of the equation. But it would have helped her for sure in terms of knowing that it's not quite as fast as it looks because of the way the wind is blowing into her. You can see a more aggressive stroke there.
Good putt. Very good putt. She has the par 5 to come at 14 as well. We'll go to 16.
And this is the tee shot put it on Patlam where it came to rest, and now her second.
So this is one of the trees that they have planted to try and replace the one that was taken down in the corner, and it is just ever so slightly in her way, having to play Probably a little left. It's tough to cut the ball out of the rough. There you can see that didn't cut at all.
Uh-oh. Oh! Is that even...
It might be playable down there. It'll depend on how close she is to the other side of the wall there.
So trouble for one of the co-leaders, Portanong Patlam, 16th. Well, you know it's Portanong Patlam's ball because it's pink, and this is where it's come to rest at the 16th. And Morgan, you said, you know, there are some places where you can play it from the penalty area. This doesn't look like one of them, does it?
Yeah, no, it didn't stay on the grassy area there. There's not a lot of water, but down in the rocks, I don't think she had any choice but to drop it here. Needs to regroup and try her best to get this up and down.
So in and 2, out in 3, up and down for bogey, and then you've got 17 and 18.
There's already been one double and one triple here on 16 today. Playing is a lot tougher than it's played all week. Just with the change in the wind. Making the tee shot a bit more narrow. Player's not able to get past that right side.
Tied for the lead. She's going to give it up. That's going to be for a bogey. Let's check in with Chella Choi at the 14th, her third. One back.
There's a little bit of a backstop behind you can use on this 14th hole.
That'll be a putt to tie the lead as we go to 15.
Yeah, Danielle Kang up on the tee.
Yeah, they've moved this tee all the way on the other side. 128 yards playing downhill, about 12 back into the wind.
It's like playing across the hole that they played yesterday.
Yeah. I like this setup. That sounded a little heavy, but I think it's okay if it stays on line.
Yeah, it's going to spin off the green, but it'll be okay. The ball kind of hangs up in the air. It's not like the second hole at Evian where it really, you have no idea. Really steep downhill. It still plays downhill, and that ball kind of hangs up in the air. And until it lands, you're never quite sure where it's going to finish. Go to 14.
Yeah, so Tom mentioned back-to-back birdies for Lilia Vu at 11 and 12, and a terrific two-putt at 13. How about this one?
She's got a lot of length in that powerful golf swing. That is, I mean, for a player who really, she only played 9 holes in practice. That's maybe not a shot she would have practiced this week. That's a tough tee shot to know exactly where to place it.
Let's watch this tee shot of Titikun with our top tracer technology. She's co-leader, as you see, but she's going to be the outright leader here as soon as Patlam finishes 16 putting for bogey.
I think this is a big tee shot right here. Able to use her power, get there in 2, but it's not very wide. I think that'll be just fine. Yeah, beauty.
That's going to be right up there next to Vu. So it's go time for those two players on this reachable par 5 today. Let's take a look at the tee shot of Titikun again, slow-mo.
Yeah, she has a beautiful golf swing, right on plane going up. Got really closed club face here at the top. How she generates a lot of power. Very straight ball flight. I was watching her on the range today. Not a lot of curve either way. It's really helpful. You can play all different kinds of golf courses and all different types of holes and dog legs.
Ernie Hees tee shot at 15.
Man, that's a little higher, I think, than she wants. Might need to get up a little.
What about the wind? Okay. I was out there watching earlier. There were a couple of balls that flirted with the penalty area when they got hung up in that breeze. But while we have a moment, let's go down to Karen Stupples.
Well, thank you. I've very kindly been joined by Attire. Thank you so much for joining me. You always seem pretty cool, calm and collected out here on the golf course. Is that exactly what's going on right now?
Yeah, I mean, like, I try to enjoy myself with my caddy, trying to sing a song in my head. And then, yeah, just try to relax and, yeah, just another out the course.
Seems like you're having a good time with Yuka too. Have you two been friends for a long time?
Yeah, I mean, he was on my back 3 years ago already. 3 years already. Yeah, we're pretty close to each other. I mean, he's kind of like a lot older than me, and he's like sometimes my brother, sometimes like my father at the same time. Yeah.
Now, we know you as a great player, winner on the LPGA Tour, but what inspired you to play golf in the first place?
I started playing when I was 6 years old, and then the one that introduced me to golf was my grandfather, because he saw like I'm not feeling well or not really healthy like other childs, and then he just wanted me to play some sport, and then sport that be like you play it alone, you don't have to wait for your team or for other players. Then he just came out with tennis and golf. And I think I don't like to run all the time. I mean, like, golf seems easier, not running, just walking and then hit your shot. Yeah, that's why.
I agree with you. Golf is much easier than, say, tennis or something like that. But thank you so much for your time. I'll be following the rest of the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
How great. She makes it look easy. And how about that? She's tied for the lead, and she's doing a walk and talk.
I think that's tremendous. There have been 5 holes left to go. She's right in position to win her second tournament of the year. And it's a position that she really hasn't been in much. I talked to her a little bit earlier this year after winning in Carlsbad. I think she struggled a bit with the pressure, struggled with some pressure from back home and from her family and from just everybody expecting her to win again so quickly after getting that first win. And it's been fun to see her really put herself in position this week on a golf course that really requires a lot of low scores. We know she can take it deep. She proved yesterday.
Right in front of her, Chella Choi to tie Titicun at 15 under. 7 years ago, when Chella won at the Dana Open, Titicun wasn't even a teenager at the time. She'd just begun playing golf. Now you got a 3-way tie for the lead. It's about to be 2, though. This for bogey for Patlam. Second shot into the penalty area. Took a drop. 4th to here. And I go back to Lytham, the 2018 AIG Women's Open. She made a double bogey at the 17th, and that cost her a chance to win.
It was a great battle that Sunday with Georgia Hall. Mooney heaved for a birdie at 15.
Yeah, should go a little left to right, fairly slow going up the hill. I don't know if it's going to break that much. Not bad.
Yeah, Mooney is going to stay back. This is a career week for Mooney here. If she can get this into the clubhouse here without any mistakes, still has a chance to win. Let's not forget that. But even if it's not a victory, this will be a massive week for Mooney. Her career best finish potentially, and the chance to jump up inside the top 100 in the race to the CME Globe. Take a lot of pressure off for the rest of the season.
Beautiful look from high above Pinnacle Country Club in Rogers, Arkansas. Taya Titicun and Chella Choi tied for the lead. Onanong Patlam with a double bogey moves out of the lead. 2 back with 2 holes to go. Danielle Kang still very much alive. Mooney He with a chance. Low scores today, but not quite as low as they were yesterday, with the wind kicking up just a little bit. We're at the 15th. Our co-leader.
Yeah, Chella Choi up on the tee at the par 3. Tremendous amount of experience, Chella Choi. 14 years on the LPGA. Still only 32 years of age. That's the target. It is an island green, as you can see, but not like the 17th at Sawgrass. The penalty area does not come into play that often. I think it comes into play from this tee shot with this breeze more than maybe anything we see setup-wise on this hole over the years.
And it's the most exposed hole, tee box, green as well, so that's going to be most affected by the wind. And being into the wind, it's going to magnify any type of side spin that's put on the ball. This looks like it's headed just a fraction right.
I'll draw it back. And that's in the bunker, is it? No, middle of the green, sorry.
All right, to this tough 16th. Danielle Kang, one back.
Yeah, nice par at the last hole, so real important. It's just driving the fairway.
Sorry, thank you.
Getting everybody settled there. A little left to right wind here. Maybe hurting a tad.
Well, she's set up to hit a little bit of a cut. She was practicing this a little bit for the 12th hole. Let's see if she...
It's going up the right side a little bit. That's fine.
You're good.
Really good.
I'm just sensitive as shit. It's not your fault.
Flushes that tee shot. She'll have a good look into that 16th green. Everybody trying to get close to Danielle Kang, a major champion, winner already this year. Came from behind to beat Nelly at the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions. Two-way tie for the lead. Ataya Titikun, her second at the par 5 14th.
Well, she's got 187 to the hole. She's got a good lie in the fairway here, ball slightly above her feet. The wind is from the right. This is a high long iron for her. Nicely done.
Beautiful shot there. That'll leave her with a really good look at eagle.
So Titikun tied for the lead, took a one-shot lead into this final round. And Morgan, you've talked about it. As great of a year as it has been for the 19-year-old from Thailand in this her rookie season, she had not been in that position after any round this year with the lead, and she has held up. A birdie and a bogey early, and now a chance to regain it.
Yeah, I think she's finally starting to get in the groove. I think maybe got off to a little bit of a shaky start. Certainly birdied the first hole, but just really couldn't get anything going earlier in the round, but finally has settled in. I love what she said to Karen, singing songs, trying to keep it light, trying to take her mind off of what's really at stake here. And it's been impressive. I mean, we've seen her go low, but every time we've seen her go low so far this year, it's been coming from behind where she can play more freely. She doesn't have the pressure of trying to win. And she's had a lot of top tens with really low scores on Sunday. And so this is a very different position, but she's handling it very well.
Pornonong Patlam on the correct side of the ridge. This is going to get closer here at 17. There's a ridge that spine that runs down the back of that green. If you're on the correct side of it, it feeds towards the hole. On the wrong side, and you've got a tough putt coming up. So Pornonong Patlam trying to battle back after that double bogey.
It's all right. We're good. We're good.
You're in good golf shots, okay?
133, 160.
Yes, correct, man. Up 3.
Play up 2.
She could have her own reality show. Danielle Kang trying to keep it loose at 16.
Any wind height?
Should be this way, right?
Yeah.
That's what it was, right?
Exactly. Top to left.
Might have an explicit rating next to it, but it would be a fun show to watch.
Okay.
One back, Jim.
She is 155 the total.
It is not helping. No.
Trying to stay out because there's always something she's going to say.
You may want to jump in.
Ollie's going to do that for me.
Family broadcast here.
Right back into the wind. Like I said, 155 hole location, 27 steps in the center of the green. She's hit some wonderful shots, controlling the spin, controlling the flight.
It's uncomfortable. Is that
Sorry.
a bug?
It just keeps landing on the ball, and I just keep fidgeting.
Give this, hold on, mate. Give this just a sec.
Oh, I like it. Thank you.
Real important to get back into that process, that routine you have.
Be good.
She's asking it to be good. It looks good. If it releases it, it's going to be good.
Oh, yes. It's great.
You can tell by the way that she told Ollie, I got it. I like this, that she was very comfortable with that shot and pulled it off. Trying to pump herself up here, coming down the stretch.
17.
I think it's a must make here for Pornonong Patlam. Should break left to right. And it just didn't break as much as she thought. So that's just going to be a 3 for Patlum, and she's going to be a 13 under par, couple back, but you've got players that are going to better that 15 under par number. So I think it's not going to be Pornonon's week, and that is really down to the double bogey. Even if she eagles the last, it won't be good enough. Back to 16.
And Mooney, he's second.
Yeah, 148. A little bit further on the right side of the fairway, but that's not an issue at all. No trees in the way. That's a lot higher flight, and that's going to miss the green way to the right. Comes down in a flat, might help a little bit on the chip shot.
She's played some really solid golf today. That's the first kind of squirrely shot we've seen her hit. Wonder if it's coming down the stretch a little nervous.
15.
Joy now to get it to 16 under par. And this one looks pretty good. So that's going to be a 3 for Cella.
You've got Atthaya Thitikun putting for eagle in a moment. First, Vu.
Had to work hard to get it through that Georgia grass there onto the green.
That was her third, right, Karen?
It was, yes.
Okay.
Really tough to judge, putting up the hill into the green with a tremendous amount of break left to right.
Lydia Ko, the winner here in 2016, a putt for eagle at the 18th. So she's going to keep her streak alive. She's never shot over par in what is now 30 tournament rounds here.
It's a golf course that's perfect for her. She is a wonderful ball striker, has so much creativity, as we see every single day around the greens. Still, it's a very impressive stat. I mean, that's not one day around this golf course where really wasn't her best stuff. It's been very solid.
Tied with Thitikun for the most top 10s on the LPGA Tour. Both are going to have one. Thitikun could have her second win. This for eagle to unbreak the tie.
Well, this is one of those putts that's going to break left, but so much of this depends on the speed.
Looks like the wind's blowing off the left as well, Karen.
Might straighten out, but this green seems to be more sheltered than some of them.
Here it comes.
Right.
Easy birdie, though.
Yeah, right in the heart. That looked like a good roll. 1 or 2 revolutions short. Really solid play at hold, though.
A one-shot lead when the round began. It's again a one-shot lead for Atthaya Thitikun. There's still a half dozen players with at least a shot here coming down the stretch on this Sunday at the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. A moment ago, Mooney He at 16.
Yeah, everything going away from her, just trying to land it on the green. Actually, not bad, as low as she hit it.
Just didn't quite get enough spin. Looked like the ball was sitting up nicely on a down grain spot.
Oh, that would have been to get into a tie for third. LPGA USGA Girls Golf is on a mission to change the face of the game. You can join the movement and inspire the next generation of LPGA Tour players. Help make little girls' big dreams come true at girlsgolf.org. Aerial coverage this week provided by Goodyear, maker of the Reliant all-season tire, providing a comfortable drive mile after mile, available only at Walmart. At this exact moment, we've been following Mooney He and her position in the race to the CME Globe, 177th. At this exact moment, she's projected to move inside the top 100 to 99th, but this is for par at 16.
Yeah, she made a great save at the par 3 11th. Let's see if she can go one more time here. She maybe just inside the left edge. I mean, as a player, you know what's at stake. You know, you're watching the leaderboard. There's so many of them out here. Just try to stay in the process. Focus on this shot.
Playing just a fraction left to right break. Oh,
Yeah,
it
it was
ran
not
out
aggressive,
of
yeah.
pace. I think she had the right line, just didn't give it enough up the hill.
Even if she would have moved into the top 100 this week, she's going to have to play some good golf in these next 3 full field events to keep her card. 2-putt birdie for Titikun at 14. She's now at 15.
She was in between clubs. Took the longer of the two. And you know that because she's taken took a couple of club lengths back from where the tee boxes are lined up. So she's trying to maximise the distance that she can get. She was practicing a little lower controlled swing because the reason for that, it's pretty gusty on this hole into right now.
Like
Got to be really precise with this. Yeah, you got to be really precise with this hole location, Morgan.
There you can see trying to flight the ball.
So this looks good.
Yeah, it was the right choice. One of the better shots we've seen. There's a lot of thinking to do on that tee with the breeze today, despite the fact it's very short. Let's go to 16.
And Danielle Kang for birdie. She's within one. The 3rd birdie of the day at 16. And it keeps Danielle Kang's hopes alive here. 15.
And Lilia Vu on the tee.
Well, once she got on the green, it was a bit of a mistake from there. She had a 3-putt from there, so not the best hole for Lilia. And this one is a bit out to the right, but safely aboard.
Yeah, it's going to be where Chela Choi was putting it. Hard to believe she made 6, considering she was flag high in 2. That hurts.
Par 5s, excuse me, have really hurt her today. A double bogey earlier and then bogey there on 14.
Portanong Padlam had a share of the lead, doubled the 16th. So second at 18. It's been the easiest hole today and all week. 7 eagles today, so this thing is far from over. At the 16th, Chela Choi now 1 back.
Just a little bit of a downslope. She hits these hybrids so well. I think that this will fit her eye with the back hole location with the hybrid in her hand. Come off just a little bit lower off the downslope. That makes a big difference coming back onto the green as opposed to potentially having to chip it. That'll be all right.
17.
Danielle Kang on the tee.
Yeah, very similar number as she had on the last hole, 155 left to right wind. There is a slope to the left she can use to maybe feed it over to the right.
Yeah, you got to be on the right side of the hole here on the green, Jim, here, haven't you?
Yeah. If you get too far left, it goes over that slope and goes the opposite side.
And then it's a brutal putt.
I think she's going to take it right at it. That's what she's done all day. It's just leaking a little left. If it gets off the slope and goes right.
Yeah, it's fine back there. It's going to be above the hole. Danielle Kang will have a putt for a birdie. Take a look at the rest of the CME Globe projections. Important for Portanong Padlam moving inside the top 60. And a big move for Mooney He there. To 17th, this is Mooney He.
Yeah, 155 is the number. Had a couple good shots in it already.
Good. Trying to bounce back after the drop shot. 16th hole, so chance for a 2 there. Yuka Saso has had some problems in the last few holes. This is for bogey, Karen?
It is. The tee shot just got high in the wind. It rose on her, caught a gust, and ended up hopping short into the water. And so she took a drop in the drop zone, just in front of the water, and that's the result. Tough couple of holes for Yuka.
Yeah, we talked about that penalty area potentially being in play. And these top players make it look easy, but make one little mistake with that tee shot and you can be really punished. Yuka Saso is looking likely to drop to 5 over for the day, so this will be a day to forget. Quite the opposite, though, for Ataya Titiku, as this for a birdie too.
Well, and she's just been so consistent, Tom. She's kept the ball in play, hasn't always had to hit the driver off the tee, and just been really consistent. Come into the round with a good game plan, had to make the adjustments because of the change in wind. But you can see how she's able to flight the ball. She can hit high, hit it low, take a little bit off it when she wants to. Just a very well-rounded player in general.
Two-shot lead. Oh my word, that looked good for a long time. Birdies are not easy to come by in this stretch of holes. Just 9 birdies here at 15, when he had 3 at 16, 2 at 17.
That looked like it was going to catch the low side there and fall in, Tom.
So just a one-shot lead. Doesn't seem to be too bothered, though, does she?
You see her frustration, too. It looked like it was going to go in.
And she was so relaxed talking to Karen. But it gives Danielle Kang a chance to tie things up again. She's over at the 17th hole, this par 3, which is usually pretty boisterous but quiet right now, watching the championship coming down the wire, and a potentially very important putt here, Jim.
It sure is, and it's a tricky little read. I think it's got some left in it. All 3 players had some great shots there. Charlie Hull just made a wonderful birdie, so as a player, you always like to see someone make that.
Fighter. She loves this challenge, I think. Jim loves to be back in the heat of battle, having had those injury problems early in the season, not knowing what the future held.
And she loves the roar of the crowd.
Guys, maybe not that loud of a roar.
Loud, yeah, that wasn't quite a roar, but there's just, they're so close. They're 20 feet from there. Great atmosphere at 17. This goes in, it'll even be better.
Guys, just stop the shaking, please. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thanks.
You would sometimes be a little concerned about a player's concentration, but Danielle, I feel like this is kind of normal for her.
As she told us, she's sensitive.
Yeah. Big putt, though. Stays right.
Almost looked like it broke right,
yeah,
Tom, from that angle.
Say, maybe a bit of a misread there. I think it was a bad putt.
At the 18th, an eagle putt for Pornanong Patlum.
Just have a significant amount of left to right break here. She give it enough pace.
The 16th was her undoing. Into the penalty area with her second shot, a double bogey. She'll have that for birdie. 16th is where we find our final group, and Ataya Titiku leading it by 1. We're going to watch this all-important tee shot with our top tracer technology.
It is, and it's more difficult, I think, because it is into the wind. Bunker on the left does come into play, and you don't really want to be down the right if you can help it.
And we'll wait and see whether she's got a little tree issue there.
It's quite similar to where Pornanong was. Depending on just a hair further, she might get away with it.
Birdie putt here for Mooney. He would jump her inside the top 5.
Yeah, she's just a little bit across from where Danielle was.
That really
did go right.
Mooney, the best she can do is a 3. If she stays where she is on the leaderboard, which is tied for 9th, that would still be her career best finish. It would move her to 125th in the race to the CME Globe. We talked about 2 weeks left to be inside the top 150 to avoid having to go to the second stage of the qualifying tournament. And that is not where you want to be when you're an exempt member of the tour. A little disappointed with herself there that she couldn't get the birdie to drop, but still a chance on 18, which is the reachable par 5.
At 16, Chella Choi to tie the lead. Has she done it? Oh! And the flagstick was in. Did that keep it out?
I don't know. That was carrying a decent amount of pace, but it could have gone either way. It hit the flagstick pretty dead center. Just on the very kind of maybe left half of.
That is the way she does it all the time. That time it may have knocked it out. So Patlum for a closing birdie, 2-putt birdie at the 18th. Closing in on 300 career starts, no wins. Did have an unofficial win going at the Brazil Cup a decade ago. Doesn't count as an official LPGA victory. She's going to come up just a little bit short again, it would appear. Atthaya Thitikul hanging on to a one-shot lead late. One back of the lead, Danielle Kang on the tee at the par 5 18th.
Just trying to keep it right of that bunker if she can. That is just right on. That is solid. Looks good here.
It's a fair way to hit.
Just trickling into the first cut, but I don't think that'll hurt her. I think she'll certainly be able to get to the green from there.
Danielle made a furious finish 3 years ago, trying to chase down Sungyun Park. Couldn't quite do it, came up just short. Now Mooney He with what's going to be a very important hole for her come season's end.
Yeah, birdie here would go a long way. That's up the right center, drawing nicely.
That should be nicely right down the middle of the fairway. She will know exactly where she stands if she wanted to. There was a leaderboard back on the 17th. What a drive.
She's birdied this 18th each of the first couple of days. Our leader by one, the 19-year-old Atthaya Thitikul playing the tough 16th. Tee shot just right of the fairway.
Well, a couple of things going on here. You have the Bermuda rough to start with. Lie's good though. The tree is in her way, just that left side of it, so she has to make a choice. You go a little bit left of it with a fade, or you try and hit something up high over that left corner of that tree. Listen to the wind.
It's almost exactly where we... Oh, sorry, Karen.
She only has 156, so if she feels like she could get an 8-iron or a 7-iron up high over it, she's got action. Oh, she got a ton of elevation on that. What a shot.
Oh.
And you see the difference between somebody who's able to get a lot of height on their irons in Atthaya compared to Pornanong, who had to try and play a low cut around the tree and ended up in the penalty area almost from the identical location. What a shot.
Told Karen on the 14th, she just keeps singing a song in her head. And humming right along. She'll have that for birdie. Ryan O'Toole from out of the shadows. She was in a tough spot at 11 yesterday. This is at the 18th. Oh, yes. An eagle 3 for O'Toole. And at the moment tied for 5th. She really hung in all week after taking a share of the lead after the first round. Wasn't going her way early yesterday and talked about being proud of hanging in.
Yeah, that'll be 2 top 10s in a row for Ryan.
Chella Choi on the tee at the 17th. As we look at the leaderboard, and you think it comes down to 3 players here. Chella Choi, Danielle Kang, Taya Titikun. Choi 1 back at Titikun. Titikun's still got some work to do at 16 with the 2-putt. As we've mentioned with that group ahead, got to be on the correct side of the green here. Flag over on the right in its traditional Sunday hole location. Good line, but just needed maybe a club more, half a club more. Big hop forward, so Chella's going to have a longish birdie putt. 1 behind here, the final round of the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship presented by P&G. Taya Titikun out in front.
Mooney He, second shot, par 5 18th.
Yeah, 204 is the total, a little bit on the downhill lie, which de-lofts this. Won't come out very high. Should be about 181 to carry that front bunker.
One last distraction before a very important shot.
Leaking out to the right, not much though. It's coming in hot.
Will it stay short of the bunker? It will, and it'll come back, I think. That's going to be for eagle from Mooney He. She'll have a putt to get to 14 under. Possibly move inside the top 100 in the race to the CME Globe and increase their chances of keeping your card. The lead is 1 for Taya Titikun and Danielle Kang in the first cut, with the music blaring here at the 18th and back at the 17th as well. She's got a big second shot.
Yeah, 194. I like this play more with this club. If you went with the long iron, it's going to come out a little bit too low. A little bit on the downhill line, but the lie overall is pretty solid, pretty good.
For sure, trust it.
Tendency off this lie, Jim, like Mooney's just maybe scored a hair to the right.
It should. I like it maybe just over the left center of that bunker.
She's set up well left again with her feet.
Yeah. Swing down the body line. That was left of the bunker trying to get in the gap.
It's kind of where she ended up yesterday.
Now it really is, but a different hole location.
It's going to be an easier shot than the one she faced yesterday, but still it'll depend a little bit on the lie. How it's going to come out of that Bermuda rough. Could come out a little bit fluffy. Tough when you have that much green to work with.
Chella Choi is to tie the lead. Back across the green, can't be tentative. And that work to do.
Back at the 16th, the leader Taya Titikun has this for birdie.
And I didn't see a huge amount in terms of break with this putt. It is a bit back uphill towards this hole. Did have to wait a little bit of time to putt this. Lily Avu was waiting to get a rule in from behind the green. So I had plenty of time to have a think about it. Good speed again.
So a bit of trouble off the tee, but now a tap in for par. Her lead is 1. going to remain one. With 2 holes to go.
Really good par there. Good recovery after a little bit of a squirrely tee shot. What a second shot she played over that tree.
First onto the scene with a victory a month after turning 19. And if she wins today, she will join the Jatanagarn sisters and Jasmine Sawanapura as the only players from Thailand who have won multiple times in the LPGA Tour. Ajariya Nanarukarn, also a winner from Thailand, and of course, Hattie T. Well, Karen called it calm, cool, collected. She has looked that way today. Karen, this is a par putt for Lilia Vu.
It is. Her second shot went long, had to get relief from the stands at the back, chipped it past, and that'll be a bogey. But I'm pretty sure that, these last couple of weeks, with Lilia putting herself in this final group, and I really feel like she's going to learn a lot from these 2 weeks.
Yeah, I agree, Karen. I think she'll be frustrated with the way that she's played today. I think happy to be in this position considering the back injury that she's been struggling with. But just not having quite her best stuff today, and that's going to happen. She's going to keep putting herself in that position in that final group, and you think it's only a matter of time before Lilia Vu hoists her first trophy as well.
And Lilia coming from across the country in Portland. 17.
It's an important putt here for Chela Choi for par. Okay. So Chela remains 1 back. And with a chance heading to that par 5 18th, which is where we go now.
And 1 shot back, 3rd shot, par 5 for Danielle Kang.
Very fluffy lie, lots of green to work with. That's the good news. Going to really accelerate through. Come out clean if it releases. Oh, did she?
Did she release it in? Whoa! Danielle Kang has taken the lead. Incredible. A hole out for Eagle from 1 back to 1 ahead and another look.
I mean, wow, she played this a little bit lower than I actually anticipated that she would. I think with the lie sitting up a little bit, not wanting to get under the ball, and what a result.
She knew it was good. And then it was great. It was perfect. Said she almost wanted to cry being in this position again. She may have some tears of joy very soon. And suddenly, Tom, Ataya Titakun is 1 back.
Yeah, she may not know, but she would have heard that roar for sure down there at 17, Karen.
Oh, yes, no question about it. But she's got 153. That back right flag, you can use the slope left of it to get the ball closer to the hole. Wind is a little bit hurting right here. This is right of the flag.
Right of the green? Yeah, it is just a flirt with that right side, but it's okay. You wonder whether she'll be intrigued by that huge roar.
It's a 3 on the card for Danielle Kang. A hole out from left of the green. Yeah, Charlie Hill's caddy Adam gave that nod and the thumbs up to Danielle Kang. What a moment. Charlie Hull now for birdie.
She has really rallied on this back 9. There's been a couple birdies and an eagle. I'll be proud of herself for the fight after that poor start.
Just to move into the top 5.
How good is that?
Little 30 on the back for Charlie Hall. She is tied for 5th. Solheim Cup opponents, Kang and Hall, for so many years. Charlie with the eagle at 14 and Danielle with the eagle at 18. What a finish for Kang. Birdie at 16 was just the 3rd of the day there. And now Mooney He with a putt that, well, it's not going to give her the checkered flag, but it could well mean that she's back on the LPGA Tour next year. This to get to 14 under and a share of 4th.
She's got to think the hole looks pretty big. They've been going in from everywhere in this group on 18, Jim.
Yeah, and you know, we said a birdie would go a long way. This would really be big time. It's really easy to be tentative on this putt, so gotta be aware of that.
She was a little tentative on the 16th. This one should suit her eye just a little bit. Right to left break here. Distracted by the wind.
There's some bugs flying around as well. Didn't look tentative, did it?
Yeah, that looked like a good roll. I would have thought that should have broken a hair to the left. But all in all, a really solid performance for Mooney He this week, when really on desperate times, when she really needed it most.
2-putt birdie moves her back to 13 under, and at the moment a share of 5th. Now Danielle Kang will wait and see if she has any golf left, or maybe was that enough.
Oh, good job there.
Well, we thought the birdie at 16 was clutch. How about this 3rd at the 18th?
That was totally blind. All just tremendous feel. We know she has so much touch around the greens and a lot of creativity, and you can see how much it means to her too by her reaction here. And those are the feelings. That's the feeling that she's really emotional about when she talked yesterday after her rounds, that you know how fiery of a competitor she is, that she missed so much. She was at home trying to recover and get back out.
Said she was driving her family crazy, wanting to come back, knew she couldn't. So she made the fans at 18 go crazy. She's got the lead, but Ataya Titigun still very much with a chance to win this in regulation.
Yeah, has a birdie putt here at 17. We haven't seen too many putts from over on this side. No. Karen, what is this one going to do?
Well, if you had to pick a place to putt from, this would be it. There's a reason why not many people hit the ball over this side. It's because it's just so close to missing on the green on the right, which would leave it almost impossible up and down. But it was an aggressive play to leave herself this uphill with a little bit of left movement putt.
Just to tie the lead. Aggressive putt, and she's got it, and she has got it. It's a birdie too at the 17th for Ataya Titigun. She's tied for the lead heading to the 18th, and as we know, that has been a birdie fest eagles like the one from Danielle Kang.
I mean, even after making that putt, Tom, she hasn't changed her demeanor one bit. You wonder if she actually knows what that means, what Danielle has done on 18. She could know if she wanted to, because there is a leaderboard right there, but hasn't changed the pace of her walk, the pace of her routine, even her reaction on her face, honestly, has been very relaxed all day.
We'll talk about the success she's had on the Ladies European Tour, but before coming to the LPGA, she looks like a seasoned veteran. She doesn't look like a rookie. Let's go to the 18.
And Chella Choi still has a chance. Needs to make eagle.
Lined up well right, trying to draw this one. It's not going to end up on the top. It's going to come all the way back down about 50 yards from the flag. Huge false front here on the 18th.
We have seen people pitch in for eagle at 18, like 5 minutes ago. Choi needs to match Kang. You can download the LPGA app for iPhone, iPad, and Android today. Visit lpga.com/apps for more information. Never short of drama here at the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. It's been a place where so many top-ranked players have won. You've got the 5th-ranked player in the world in Ataya Titakun. You got Danielle Kang tied with her after holding out for eagle.
Great shot. You're good.
And so this happened just minutes apart. One back at this moment. Third shot at the par 5 for Danielle. She landed the high 5 or the low 5 with Ollie Brett, her caddy. And then just a couple of minutes later, Titakun to tie.
You have to think Ataya carries the advantage heading into 18.
Ollie Brett's girlfriend, Emily Pedersen, who plays on tour, greeting Danielle.
Yeah, I'm going to sign from there and I'll be right back. Thank you.
You can't really overstate what a bombshell it was at the U.S. Women's Open when Danielle went public that she had a tumor in her spine. Scary, didn't know when she'd be able to play again, and now here she is tied with this woman, Titakun, who's headed to this par 5 18th. Birdie did the first 2 days. A birdie here would give her second victory of this, her rookie season.
Well, and it's one that sets up quite nicely for her.
Bonpat Buntusan Suri, her caddy.
The big scoreboard that was behind them on the 17th green, Ataya really didn't look back at it. Her caddy did, but it was scrolling through some other things. So I'm not sure that they would be all that aware of where they stand. I do know that she looks very comfortable right now. This tee shot downwind, off the right. It is blind where it lands.
Looking anxiously, and that's why.
Yeah, it's probably going to have to lay that up.
Yep.
Got
Pretty
a decent lie, Karen, but I would imagine blocked out from the trees.
I think so.
So you have 2 tied at 17 under. Chella Choi must hold this to get to 17 as well. 32 years old from Korea in her 13th season. One victory came 7 years ago. Oh,
I thought for a moment that had a really good chance.
She scared it. She'll come up just a little bit short. Will Danielle Kang come up short? We're about to find out. Titicaca left of the fairway. Today's coverage is brought to you by Walmart Plus. Members get more. By Volunteers of America, helping those who need it most for over 125 years. And by Skechers Go Golf, comfort-driven styles worn by Brooke Henderson. Well, these two who've achieved so much at a young age. Morgan, you, like Yuka Saso, won a major championship as a teenager. It's great, but it also adds a level of pressure that both of them have talked about trying to endure.
Yeah, it's almost like the feeling of wanting to validate those victories, and two tremendous talents, Yuka and Atthaya. Yuka having a day that she probably will want to forget. Hasn't played, certainly, I think, as well as she had expected heading into this season. First time she's been in this position in a while.
This is where the tee shot of Titicaca came to rest, and Karen Stupples, you've taken a look at it.
I have. She's got 194 to the hole. The lie is pretty good. It's sitting down just a little bit, but you can get something out of it quite easily. She can see the right side of the green without having to deal with those trees. The wind feels like it's off the right as well, so that will help push the ball back towards the green, should she want to hit a little draw from this lie.
With a victory, Atthaya Titicaca would have her second LPGA Tour title. She'd be the first since Sunghyun Park in 2017 to win multiple times. And she would project to move inside the top 5 in the race to the CME Globe. Up ahead, Chella Choi, whose pitch shot looked really good. Like it might have a chance to go in, came up just short. And this for birdie. She's got solo third, it looks like, either way. All right. Back left of the fairway. It's a layup for Titicaca.
It is. I think she felt significantly uncomfortable enough to not want to take that on.
What do you think, Morgan?
I mean, I couldn't see the lie, but it's unusually, I guess, conservative play. Surprises me a little bit, but if there's anything that she's doubting in her brain, best to lay it up.
What's the update on 18?
Danielle Kang, after holding out for eagle at the 18th, is trying to get loose here. Stay loose in case there is a playoff. We're about to find out. This is the third shot for Atthaya Titicaca at the par 5. Hit up and down. She wins in regulation.
Well, she's got 89 yards. There's a little wind at her back. And there's a little backstop behind this hole that you could use. Cannot see the bottom of the flag.
Asking for it to sit. Karen, do you know if she knows where she stands?
I'm completely unaware if she knows. I mean, I don't think they got much information from the scoreboard on 17 at all.
That certainly would have impacted your decision.
I feel like you have to know where you stand at this point. At least your caddy should have a really good idea of what you need to do to help you make the proper decision on 18. And maybe they do know, and maybe they were playing to avoid a big number. She's going to have a quick putt now down the hill. It's not the easiest 2-putt in the world.
A breakout season for a superior talent. And won very early in her rookie season after winning Player of the Year honors on the Ladies European Tour. She's been great for a long time at a very young age, still just 19 years old. She won a playoff for her other victory, and she'll have a putt to avoid a playoff here. So Karen, just update us on where we stand with the other players in the group, Sasso and Vu.
Well, Vu will have an eagle putt. Had a good tee shot down there and really good approach shot. Sasso was way left, had to pitch out with a layup and hit a good shot in here. So she'll have a birdie attempt. But all eyes on this one. Not an easy putt, as you were saying. It's downhill and it's going to break to the right. It's one of those ones that you really do have to really visualize the line that you want to see the ball rolling on and where you want it falling in the hole. But also keeping in the back of your mind, you don't want this to get away from you either.
She's one of the best on the LPGA Tour in avoiding 3 putts and in making birdies. A birdie here would give her the win. A 2-putt would send her into a playoff with Danielle Kang.
You have to think, Karen, no matter whether she knows exactly where she stands or not, her heart has to be racing at this moment.
No question. Look, just standing around this green, I don't even have a putter in my hand. You can feel the tension. I mean, there's a buzz around this hole. Everybody knows what's going on. And they're just waiting to see what happens here.
For the win. These two, Atthaya Thitikul and Danielle Kang, are going to keep playing. They'll go to the 15th hole, the par 3.
Pretty solid effort there, though. From above the hole, looked like that had a really good chance. Just stopped breaking at the very end.
So Danielle gets the news. The roar would have told her. The roar that she created with a hole out to tie Thitikul, or actually take the lead. It was a birdie for Thitikul at 17 that tied things again. Now Lilia Vu for eagle.
Much flatter place to platform here on the right side of the green. Still want to meander left though.
Just to get all the way back to even par after a wild day.
It has been some journey for her, that is for sure.
But another good week for a player who was ready to give the game up not that long ago, Morgan.
I mean, compared to where she was in 2019, her rookie year, only making 1 out of 9 cuts, and to being one of the top players this year, having a true breakout season. It's been very impressive to watch her mental shift.
Now Sasso.
This putt's breaking to the right. Kind of feel like this course owes her a little bit today, but my goodness, that's still plenty of work to do here. I think she tried to force it a little bit on this back 9, Morgan. Like she tried to make things happen where they weren't really there for her.
Yeah, it looked like that started about on the 12th hole, which was probably a little earlier than she would have needed to start to force it, considering that there are opportunities out here.
Could that have been a result of the fact that she hasn't been in this position since January, really, with a chance?
You might be right. I mean, you do have to remind yourself of the things that you've got to do to win.
what a talent she is in spite of that tough Sunday here. So extra holes needed to determine a winner. Danielle Kang, she's been as high as number 2 in the world. Atthaya Thitikul, currently number 5. We're going to have another exceptional talent win here at the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. Getting stretched out. And this was why she is still playing. Third of the 18th. Down 1. That put her in the lead. And a clutch birdie for Thitikul tied her. Danielle Kang, twice a U.S. Amateur champ, a major champion, a winner this year. She and Thitikul are heading to the 15th to start a playoff in a moment. I don't know that Danielle Kang thought when this day started that she'd still be hitting balls after her round. She was 4 back when the round began. Shot 64 and trying to do to Atthaya Thitikul what Thitikul did back in March at Aviara in Carlsbad, California, when she rallied to defeat Nana Kurtz-Madsen in a playoff. So it will be a 1-hole playoff. If they tie it, they'll keep going. And Morgan, what about what we saw today beyond Kang and Thitikul here as we wait for this playoff to begin? It was well, a week that we said, you know, when you get here, you gotta go low early. Danielle Kang talked a lot about working with Annika Sorenstam on the idea of how to play a 54-hole event. You got to start quickly, and now we end with some theatrics from both players, really. Kang at 18 and then Thitikul at the 17th. It's
definitely a sprint in a 3-day tournament, and Danielle has played well in 3-day events. Yeah. And I think we saw exactly what we thought we'd see. Fireworks coming down the stretch, capped off by Danielle's incredible hole out for eagle on 18. They're heading to the 15th hole. Both players parred that in regulation. It's an exposed green, exposed tee box, but a short iron in their hands. And can somebody really, I mean, they both played the par threes really well, but we showed that clip earlier of how well Danielle has played, especially with her irons, into these par threes all week. Maybe plays a little bit into her advantage, but I mean, both players really played solid golf so far today. Atthaya impressive after getting off to a rough start. Kind of a slow start, so to speak, letting the chasers catch back up to her, and then really having a solid back nine. A bit unfortunate there on 18. You know, not to really take advantage of her length on the easiest hole in the golf course, but she's got some more golf to play.
Maybe an advantage for Danielle. She is number 1 on the LPGA Tour in par 3 scoring average. Tom showed you all the birdies she made on the par 3s on the back in round 2. This is a neighborhood golf course, and off they go to the 15th. Well, it has been a show all year. How about 2.85? The season scoring averages were almost to October for Danielle Kang.
And it's because of shots just like this on one of the hardest holes. They moved that tee back 50-something yards today. What a solid iron shot into 11 for Danielle.
12 can be tricky, but Thitikul made it look easy. Karen told us there was a gust right as her ball took off. Was impervious to it. Beautiful tee shot at the par 5 14th. At this point, she was tied for the lead with Pornanong Patlam, the veteran from her home country of Thailand. She would 2-putt that, left it just, what, maybe 1 roll short of going in for eagle. Then at 16, there had only been 2 birdies all day at this par 4. And that would lead to the 3rd. She parred the 17th. She was 1 back when she got to this 3rd shot at the par 5 18th. She's a fiery player with a flair for the dramatic. And some serious drama there. So Ataya Titikun is all of a sudden one shot back, but not for long. Just a handful of birdies at the 17th today, but Titikun got one of them. And then at the 18th, she tugged her tee shot. She opted to lay up. I'm trying to stretch out here to stay loose. Does either player have an advantage in your mind?
Well, in my mind, I guess we'd go to Danielle, starting on a par 3 with just her exceptional iron play and par 3 scoring average this season, leading the tour. But I mean, Ataya hit a beautiful shot in just what, an hour ago?
On making it this far. The order for the holes will be 15, 16, 17, 18. It is a sudden-death playoff. Danielle, since you teed off first today, you're going to start the playoff. Okay. Good luck, ladies.
Brian Fahey from the LPGA Tour, the official who's going to be overseeing the playoff. And it's about an hour since they played this hole. Has there been much of a change in the conditions? Jim Gallagher Jr. will be out there calling the action for Danielle Kang, who's going to go first. What do you think, Jim? Pretty much the same as it was?
Same as that, yeah. It's the same kind of wind. It's 128 yards down, about 12 yards. And she played this earlier. She hit a little bit more of a floater shot. I think it was a 9-iron. Came up on the front part of the green. She was a little unfortunate when she hit the putt. It kind of lipped out with the flagstick in. So
I hit a beautiful shot in just what, an hour ago?
I'm making it this far. The order for the holes will be 15, 16, 17, 18. It is a sudden-death playoff. Danielle, since you teed off first today, you're going to start the playoff. Okay. Good luck, ladies.
Brian Fahey from the LPGA Tour, the official who's going to be overseeing the playoff. And it's about an hour since they played this hole. Has there been much of a change in the conditions? Jim Gallagher Jr. will be out there calling the action for Danielle Kang, who's going to go first. What do you think, Jim? Pretty much the same as it was?
Same as that, yeah. It's the same kind of wind. It's 128 yards down, about 12 yards. And she played this earlier. She hit a little bit more of a floater shot. I think it was a 9-iron. Came up on the front part of the green. She was a little unfortunate when she hit the putt. It kind of lipped out with the flagstick in. So, but she seems pretty loose. Warmed up on the driving range. Was ready to go.
Yeah, had a little bit of a wait, but not too long.
Signed a lot of autographs afterwards, just giving back to the fans, just enjoying the moment.
Yeah, Danielle was a couple of groups ahead of that final 3 ball. Oh, an important shot here. This could be the one that wins it if she knocks it in close.
I think as you're up here on the top of the hill and the wind's gusting quite a bit, the holes down there in that valley where there's not as much wind, but the first part it's okay. It's that last part, if you hit it a little too high, it can float on you. That might need to get up. Almost the identical spot she was earlier. She'll know the putt.
Yeah, earlier she was just barely on the green. Just a little bit closer to the edge of the green than she is there, but very similar.
Karen, is it an advantage now to go second, having seen that ball float a little bit?
I think it is, but I think also you have to put in the back of your head that, you know, what you did on this hole previously. I mean, she played a really lovely shot here, hit a controlled, low trajectory, little 9-iron. I'm expecting a very similar kind of shot here again. The wind is a little bit more unpredictable than it was when we were here first time around. It's flattened out just a little bit at the minute, but you never know when the ball's in the air. This one's a higher trajectory than she played earlier. Catching a little bit of a gust now.
Safe. Give Ataya Titikun a slight advantage, but Danielle Kang will know the line of her putt. It's a playoff here in Arkansas. the front of the green. And
yeah, I think it's far enough off the green. I don't know what it's going to do if you putt it, but a safer play is putt it. But I think she's just going to go with some kind of a wedge with a chip shot. It'll go left early and then straighten out.
Well, she holed one from off the green.
She sure did. It's all personal preference.
Yeah, made an eagle on the 18th hole in regulation. See if she can chip one in again here. And that's going to come up woefully shy. That looks closer from that angle. There you go. That's a good look at how short that was.
It's kind of the risk that you run going with the wedge as opposed to a putter. Just came out a little soft, almost a little fluffy out of that lie. Maybe not 100% solid contact, Jim.
Yeah, just like you said with this Loja, though, when you get that leading edge digging in there, it was kind of a little bit jabby. It wasn't a smooth transition as she normally has. You know, for me personally, I might have probably putted it and taken my chances of it not coming out smooth, but it's easier to say that afterwards.
So Taya Titigan's going to putt to win here, Karen. Right to left break.
It is. And it looks like it's going to be fairly quick as well. The wind is going to push it down to the left. Everything about this is moving it left. And I always think that you have to visualize this going in at, I mean, I want to say it's probably 4 o'clock, maybe even on this one. Her speed has been so good. Needs another one here.
It's not going to get there.
Wow.
I didn't expect that, Karen. I thought she would give it a go.
I did too. Do think, though, that it did look quite speedy, and maybe she thought the same.
But now the spotlight turns back to Danielle Kang, who's got some work to do here. Jim, is there much in this one?
There shouldn't be too much in this, and she's been spot on with these length putts. I don't want to say it, but has not made a bogey all week. It's been some great play. Usually if you want someone to make a putt for you this length, she's the one.
She talked yesterday after the round about how confident she is right now with this club. And her stroke has looked beautiful all week. Very confident, very smooth, wonderful acceleration.
This is a must make. And it's right in the heart. Solid. And now the pressure back on the 19-year-old from Thailand. And Karen, is this going to move a little from right to left?
I think so. Still, and I think from this length, though, I'm not sure you want to put this one on the outside of the hole, even just inside right edge, and hit a confident stroke. Try and forget the nerves in your hands. There you go.
So 2 threes, as they did in regulation play at the 15th. And now I think things will get a little more interesting. The 16th hole has been very tough, and that's where they go next. They're going to walk across the bridge and around the penalty area and up to the tee at the 16th, which is raised. You look down onto the fairway, and the nerves will begin to jangle a little more.
I think both there, Tom, maybe just a little bit tentative on their second shots on that hole, showing just a slight sign of nerves, which is only natural being in that position, being a little bit nervous. But I think that might actually settle them both down a little bit.
Kang made one of only 3 birdies of the day at the 16th. Taya Titigan missed her tee shot to the right and hit a fine second just to find the green and 2-putted from there. Well, like Taya Titigan, Danielle Kang was a 19-year-old rookie. a decade ago, coming out with such promise. You remember when Danielle came out, Morgan, you were just getting your career started as well. You'd won a couple of times, including a major, but Titicoon had so much promise. Danielle Kang, let's not forget, was a two-time U.S. amateur champion. It came a little more slowly for Danielle.
Yeah, but I think for Danielle, it was a little bit about harnessing her competitive spirit, not being so hard on herself and not getting so frustrated on the golf course. And I think she's really found that balance of how can that competitive edge help me and not let it frustrate me and almost beat yourself up on the golf course, which as golfers we all have a little bit of a tendency to do.
Her first win was a major, the 2017 KPMG Women's PGA era 137th start after turning professional, whereas Titicoon won just her second month as an LPGA Tour member. She found the fairway, Jim, in regulation, and it led to a birdie.
She sure did, and only had 155 yards in on that second shot. She flighted it nicely.
No, they stopped, so I'm just going to wait for that guy.
Waiting for all the folks to get across. Now stopped them. Fairway's clear, ready to go. Up the right side, it should kick left towards the center. Oh, it kicked right or straight. Might be all right there.
I think she'll be just far enough left that she'll be able to go around the left side of that tree.
Just her second missed fairway today. And now Titicoon, Karen.
Well, didn't hit a driver here earlier and ended up in a bit of a tough spot down that right side, and looking to make an adjustment here now.
Don't want to overcorrect it and end up too far left. Just pick your target and try and swing confidently.
And this one's going more left. That'll be fine.
So the second hole of a playoff between rookie Atthaya Titicoon and the veteran Danielle Kang, trying to determine a champion in his 15th playing in Rogers, Arkansas. So this is Titicoon in the fairway, the par 4 16th, toughest hole in this final round today. And Danielle Kang is in the first cut.
Athaya's got 158. Ball is quite below her feet. This wind seems to be switching around a little bit at the minute. Feels like there's a little bit of help off the left right now. Plenty of room to use over those bunkers, even though the flag looks like it's sitting right behind it. Started left of the flag, drawing towards it.
All right. You like going first in the playoff, don't you?
Well, it becomes a little bit of a match play type situation, and usually you'd say in match play, always better to go first, put the pressure on your opponent, and now the pressure is back on Danielle. Jim?
It is 131, as you said, first cut of rough. It's down grain, which helps. You may have to play a little bit more of a release shot. When she played here earlier, she was able to go right at it. It's all about how it comes out, controlling that spin. And will it release? Just left to the hole, might need to get down.
Might have jumped out of that first cut, out of that Bermuda rough just a hair. That's not the end of the world from over the green there.
We've talked about all the great winners who have hoisted the trophy here at the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. Stacey Lewis was a senior at the University of Arkansas in the first year, 2007. It was an unofficial event, shortened to 18 holes. The great Yanni Sen, #1 in the world, won back-to-back. Ai Miyazato, former #1 in the world as well. Hinkley Park won a playoff with So-Yeon Yu, 2013. The last playoff we've had. Lydia Ko, who loves this play. She's never shot a round above par in 30 tournament rounds. And you think of the great winners here. Half of the winners have been ranked #5 in the world or higher coming into the week. And you've got Titikin here #5 this week. And I mean, Danielle's 21st in the world, but that's mostly a function of the fact that she hasn't played for most of the summer. Two great players.
It's very impressive, and you'd actually think that in a 3-round tournament, you'd have potentially more, I don't want to say fluke winners, but more surprise winners or lower ranked winners, as you'd expect 4 rounds to really separate the best players more so than a 3-round event. But I think the way that this golf course is set up and how it's demanding just in every certain part of your game, and you have to be able to make the clutch putts and the clutch birdies down the stretch. I think that's why there's been a quite illustrious list of winners, past champions here.
We have a third shot here for Kang. Remember, she was off the green at 15 on the first playoff hole, opted to take a wedge, came up well short. And she had a wedge briefly, Jim. Now she's got the putter.
I like the putter better. It's back into the green, where on the last hole it was a little more sitting up, I guess. But there is a little bit of a fall. About 3 feet it's flat, then it kind of falls down. But I like this better than the other one. May go a little bit to her left or right. I just feel like it's a safer, smarter play.
Titikin is inside of her. She'll have another opportunity very shortly. In terms of making it, Jim, what do you think?
When I saw her chip in on 18, I wouldn't put it past her. I think right here you just concentrate, Morgan, on the speed. That's the biggest thing. It's real easy to hit this really hard trying to get it through this zoysia.
Especially if you're thinking maybe last second in your mind into the green to start.
Yeah, and your opponent's in there fairly close too, so.
She made a clutch putt for par to extend the playoff. On the 15th, she'll have another putt, perhaps, unless Titikin makes.
I think that's just what she did after being maybe a little tentative on the last hole. This one, you know, thinking she's putting a little bit into the green early, giving it a little bit extra last second.
Well, Karen, they haven't been the easiest of putts, but this is going to be a 3rd straight hole in which Atthaya Thitikul has stood over a putt with a chance to win it.
No, they haven't been the easiest, but this one, there's something that is appealing to the eye about this putt, more so than the other ones. I think primarily because right-handed players like to see the ball falling a little bit to the left. It's easier to get the ball started on line. And this one just looks, if she gets the speed right, this could be it.
The Phenom has done it again. Atthaya Thitikul wins for the 2nd time in a rookie season, both in extra holes.